Later in life, Locke wrote and published the two treatises of government, which argue that the government cannot exist without the consent of the people. He also argued that the government should protect the property of man, and that in exchange man would follow civil law. Locke declared that if the government fails to fulfill its duty, then the people have the right to overthrow the government. Locke's ideas on government and individual rights were of central importance to the American Revolution. So there you have it. That if the government is not serving its people as they want, then the people have the right to overthrow the government. What is the point in having a government if they don't really do anything? Like 9 times out of 10, they're doing more harm than they are good. So there's more people than there are people in authority, and we actually have the right to overthrow the government.
So first off, I want to know your opinion on January 6th and the pardoning of. Okay.
No, that's a legitimate question.
Okay.
The pardoning's a legitimate question.
What's your opinion on that?
Everyone should be pardoned.
Okay, here is my thing I'm going to say about that. My father is a police officer, so if you're saying that someone injures him or kills him in the line of duty, I should support pardoning them?
So actually, that's not my position. My position is very simple.
You just said your position is everyone should be pardoned.
Well, hold on. Allow me to finish. I said everyone should be pardoned, but not because of what they were accused of doing, because they were deprived of due process. And here's the kicker, that the January 6th defendants were put in pretrial detention for nearly 2 years, many of whom were not given attorney representation. One attorney in particular made his defendant go watch videos saying that MAGA is brainwashing.
Okay, so why should we care that these people, whatever he's saying, they had to go through all of this when Ryan K. Melly has been locked up for like 9 years and never even convicted guilty. And these people who are obviously not even criminals, like Cardi B or Lil Durk, like Lil Durk is just locked up forever, you know, like, are they really a threat to society? No. Why are they being taken seriously I mean, they're celebrities, so if they're not gonna be pardoned, there's some white guys, some whoever that he's talking about, everyone be pardoned. If everybody should be pardoned, but you can't just use that on certain cases and say that everybody should be pardoned, but then everybody's not pardoned. Like, why would everybody be pardoned? That would make no sense. Pardon has two main meanings. First is a formal executive act. It is a release from the legal consequences of a crime and a full restoration of civil rights. And when has that ever happened for anybody? So why is he saying this? It literally makes no sense. Literally, absolutely, I'm not getting one hint of understanding behind it.
By our own government as political prisoners. Here is the truth. Even if you go do something as evil as shoot up a school, you deserve 5th, 6th, and 7th Amendment protection rights. These January 6th defendants did not get their basic constitutional rights protected. They literally had to sleep on the ground of the D.C. jail as January 6th gulags. You look at these pictures, they had to go sleep on the floor with no food for days, acting as if that this was some sort of Moscow internment camp. What President Trump did was very simple. This was a statement towards the justice system. You guys did not treat these people, who some of which did very bad things, with basic constitutional due process rights. It was a pardon wiping the slate clean, saying, even the person who does the grossest thing should be able to have the same rights of due process and the presumption of innocence of somebody who did absolutely nothing wrong. That's the position of the pardons.
So exactly what you just said to me, I'm going to use your words. If someone shoots up a school, they should be pardoned if they do not get due process.
No. I said if someone shoots up a school, they deserve a lawyer. And someone shoots.
But if they do not get one, they should be pardoned.
Hold on. That's not what I'm saying.
That is what you're saying.
No, if someone shoots up a school, they deserve to have a lawyer the same way as if someone runs a traffic light. This is a basic human right. And these January 6th defendants did not have their human rights respected by the Biden Department of Justice. That is what these pardons are all about. It's not about the merits of what they did or did not do, many of which, by the way, is largely exaggerated because 1,000 people peacefully walked into the people's house, said prayers, took pictures, and walked out, and the FBI sent on them as if they're narco. Thank you, guys. Who's up? Disagreements? Yes.
Disagree.
Okay. How are you?
Hi. Yes. I don't know am I supposed to say my name or just?
want to.
Okay. My name is Gigi. I guess I'm mostly on the side of disagreeing because I feel like I don't think that behind this presidency, I don't think that this country is headed towards a bright future. I don't think that under this presidency that we are going to stand united. I think that it is going to divide us even more and that it is dividing us. And I also don't think that this presidency is built on a love of all people. I feel like whenever I hear Trump specifically talk, there are notions of not black people specifically, but people of color being seen as murderers and rapists, and it's specifically targeted towards brown people. And so I guess what I'm trying to say is, my question for you is, do you think this country, or do you think that Trump is going to do the American public right in the overall of his presidency?
Yes.
Okay. Are you worried about the state of this country under his presidency when it comes to economic setbacks, when it comes to another Great Depression, when it comes to stocks going down, et cetera, et cetera? Are you worried that
No.
he is not going to do anything like that?
I don't have those concerns. And by the way, inflation's going down, and the price of eggs is going down, everybody, big time. But go ahead. I want you to thoroughly complete your argument, and then I'll say something.
Okay. I guess basically the point of my argument is I think that President Trump, and I think that this country's view, especially when we're coming now into DEI and we're coming into defunding of Department of Education, we're coming to taking the Tuskegee Airmen out of being taught.
That has been reversed, just for the record.
Okay.
The Tuskegee Airmen.
But there's been multiple other things besides Tuskegee, but also the whole debate on critical race theory, teaching slavery in schools, teaching black history, et cetera, et cetera. These are things that are being targeted specifically when it took years and years to even get them in place. I think that this country is built on using the Bible, not even 100 years ago, to defame and to dehumanize black people. There has been use of the Bible specifically.
In this video, she's correct that she doesn't like where the country is headed, and I don't either. And like President Trump just stands for all the wrong things. He's defunding many good things that were actually really helping people, and that when he says "Make America Great Again," which is what they're saying MAGA is, America was never like this. This isn't the way America ever was. For him to say again, like they're trying to conserve something that was already here when it wasn't. We never ever were so focused on having rich people get richer and poor people get poorer. That is a medieval thing. That's like from before Jesus came. That's why they say Jesus is coming again. But I mean, he is. Not that's not just why they say that. That's just proof that the times are like the way they were before the Dark Ages, like before Jesus came. So when she says use the Bible, um, she obviously hasn't read the Bible, and I'm not saying that I'm not condemning her because like 99% of people have not, and they don't know what it says. So when they say stuff, it's just the devil out of using ignorance to make them believe something not true. Look at it, looking at the light. Maybe that's true. Did the Bible? Is the Bible against black people? Maybe that's true. Did the Bible say something against black people? And they haven't read the Bible, so they don't know. They're like actually interested now. What's she gonna say? So, anyways,
Talk about how slaves should obey their masters and how that's what the whole relationship between white and black people were. I think that this country specifically has a lot of racist rhetoric that is built in that is not being targeted. I think that
So
Okay, now this girl's been sexually assaulted, a white female, which is the most common to be sexually assaulted in America, and she's talking about how the president does not do anything about it, and that the laws do not protect women, and that's true, and that there's many women in hostage relationships and hostile relationships, like black women too, in abusive relationships, and tossed around as if they want to have sex when they don't. And these women don't have any rights. They're not because Trump is a womanizer himself, and because um yeah, it's just disgusting. Let's just watch it.
and,
how many are raped and sexually assaulted?
and another quick question.
Those are actually under prosecuted most times. So we don't know.
I don't believe that's true.
Well, no, most rapists don't get arrested. Would you agree?
Oh yes.
That's
Sorry,
what I'm
sorry,
saying.
sorry.
Under prosecuted.
Okay, sorry. And there also a lot of them aren't. Sorry, a lot of them aren't reported. Everyone is so concerned with the embryos and like abortions. What happens to those embryos if they are not aborted? They grow up and they happen to be women. What happens to them when they grow up and they get sexually assaulted? Because everyone here, I would like you to think mothers, sisters, friends, daughters. Have you or anyone that you've known been sexually assaulted? And if you're comfortable, please raise your hand, because I have.
Okay, but hold on. I just want to make sure your argument is that therefore they should be aborted?
No, not at all. It's a comparison. It's fully a comparison. I'm not here to talk about that. I think that there are bigger issues.
We're running out of time.
I think there are bigger issues in America right now than what the Trump administration is focusing on. Do you agree? Like, do you have daughters?
I have a daughter. Yeah.
You have a daughter? Okay. How would you feel if she was sexually assaulted?
I mean, obviously pretty
Terrible.
awful. Yeah.
Terrible. Have you ever been sexually assaulted?
No.
No. Okay. Why do you not want to do anything to stop that?
Well, I do.
Like you,
I mean, it's
okay, but you don't talk about it. Neither does the Trump administration.
hold on, no,
that's not a big problem that they have.
Hold on a
Even though
second.
I'm still talking, please. I'm still talking.
What are you,
please.
Kamala Harris? Okay,
No,
stop.
I'm still talking, please. I wasn't
1 second.
done, and you
no,
interrupted
I got
me.
your whole shtick.
I came up here with my full respect to allow you to talk, and you interrupted me.
You're
and
giving
I'm
a
asking for the
monologue,
same
not a
thing.
question. So please ask your question.
Okay. I think that there are more pressing issues than the Trump administration talks about. He talks about there's a lot more to it than what the Trump administration.
What
is
could be
saying,
more
which is
pressing than nuclear war? No, seriously, we are on the verge of a nuclear war with Russia. What could be more pressing than that?
I agree, but
What could be more pressing than
I
having?
think that women being sexually assaulted on the daily in America is a bigger problem than abortions. Truthfully, I do.
Okay, I'm not gonna.
And if anyone like,
I'm not overly disagreeing, but
exactly,
also
exactly. That's my thing. Is do you think that there should be something done, put in place by the Trump administration to help women and men and everyone that are sexually assaulted? There needs to be something done.
There already are laws on the books. So I mean, I don't. What would you propose
and
to
it
be
still
done?
happens. And it's still. I don't know. I'm not the
Yes,
president. That's his job. That's his job.
No, it's not
Is
his
it
job to end sexual assault in America. That's never going to happen. Okay. And by the way, just so we're clear, it's a lot. We're talking about two different things. Rape is not the same thing as sexual harassment. It's not the same thing as sexual assault. Those are three different
I
things.
said both things.
But sexual assault could be something as going in for an unwanted kiss. Is that sexual assault?
yes.
Whoa. So you think going in for an unwanted kiss is sexual assault? I thought you were talking about like something way more graphic.
Sexual assault is a branch of things.
Okay, so
Okay, so in this argument, I feel like she clearly won, and then she goes on to say, I was talking about rape, I was talking about incest, I was talking about this or that. And anyway, I don't know why I didn't play it, it's just, we get it, she won the argument. And this one, he really had to agree with her, and it just seems like he didn't even want to agree with her. But he also said that, why did he bring up, like, if a man goes in for a kiss, she doesn't want it, like, that's not sexual assault. That is sexual assault. Just because then he's just like, oh, so that means they should go to jail if it's sexual assault. That means they should go to jail. No, that doesn't mean they should go to jail, but that doesn't mean that it's not sexual assault. So, anyway, and now this guy's about to come up here, and he's a pirate, and he is saying the same things that I was kind of saying, like, but it's abstract. So when I was saying that the whole government is different than the way it was, it's the same thing he's saying, and you'll see it. You'll see the exactly what he's saying because I hope you'll see it because of what I already said, and maybe it'll make sense to you. It should make sense to you, and it was good. So let's watch that.
Yes.
I mean, I'm sorry. I think that's like improper and wrong. I don't think the police should be involved in that. Do you?
No. When there's so many different.
You think the police should be involved in like a frat situation where they're both drunk and a guy goes in for a kiss and she didn't want it?
That's not what I'm talking about.
That is exactly what
No,
you're
it's
talking
not.
about.
I literally blatantly said rape, incest, physical,
Okay,
sexual
I agree
assault.
with all that. On that,
Okay.
we should do more on that. Thank you for your time.
Okay,
I'd like to talk to Johnny Depp here. No.
Sorry, matey. Sorry. All right. Ahoy, matey. Hello. Can everybody hear me? Everybody hear me? All right, so my question for you is, all right, so if a museum has a ship, right, and they replace all the parts in the ship while they're repairing the ship, and is that still the same ship? Or alternatively, if they went and took the original parts, put them all back together into another ship, which is the original ship?
Is this your job?
No, not quite. More of a hobby, you know, more of a hobby. Like golf.
How do you feed yourself? Like, how do you sustain yourself?
Oh, you know, lots of plunder, you know, all that.
So this is your shtick. You go around and do this?
A bit of a hobby, you know. I run a club, you know. The people love it.
Your little pin there says abortion pills by mail. Tell me more about that.
Oh, no, I don't care to talk about that. I care to talk about the ship of Theseus, matey. Which one is the ship of Theseus? That is my real question.
So you've made your point.
Well, like what point? Like I'm asking you a question.
I'm not tracking it, but to explain to me though, like, so you go to college campuses and just do this entire thing?
No, I go here. I go here.
Oh, you go here.
I'm a student.
Oh.
So yeah, like ship of Theseus. Or what if I put it to you in a different way? So let's say a pirate captain, you know, like he gets all of his limbs blown off and they get replaced with peg legs, you know, like over time you have a whole new pirate, right? So hypothetically, like if you put the original parts of the pirate back together, which is the captain of the ship?
We're not going to waste any more time on this. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, matey. Hold on.
Thank you. Nice flag.
Thank you. Water bottle them? Yeah, thank you. So, I have two questions. My first one is if Jesus fed people for free, taught people for free, and healed people for free,
If you live in a South Carolina zip code and have
healed people for free, why don't we do the same?
Churches should.
Churches should? Okay. But why can't we do that on a more systemic level through government programs? Hey, maybe private companies with all of their record profits. Why hasn't Elon put up some of his own private money to help end homelessness?
Because homelessness is not a money problem.
Homelessness? Tell that to homeless people then.
I have. I say, you know what? Almost every single one of them has either mental problems or drug disorders. It is not a matter of lack of capital. It's that they should either be in an asylum or they're doing hard drugs and they don't want to stop. We have homelessness.
Asylums that Ronald Reagan defunded? The asylums that Ronald Reagan
Yes, if we want to talk about bringing back asylums, I'm all for that. I have an entire political party I would put in an asylum.
Okay. Then we... All right. My second question is about Mahmoud Khalil. He was a legal immigrant with a green card, with a wife and a baby on the way, exercising his free speech rights.
At this point, I know you're like, ooh, it's getting good. And I don't like to argue, but these people do, and I like to see it. And I like what's happening. And I feel like this guy is so right. And I was so mad last night. This was the part I got kind of mad about when he said that about homeless people. That was so wrong. Like, they're not crazy. They're not they don't all have drug problems. Like, yes, some of them, like, what about the ones that really, like, need a place to live and they're homeless? Like, it's actually pretty easy to be homeless. So, he's evil for saying that. And then they need to be put in asylums. That's straight evil. That's straight evil. This is not a real Christian right there. It's a person trying to hide behind Jesus, and Jesus moved out of the way.
Baby on the way, exercising his free speech rights. So my question is, if legal immigrants aren't safe, then who is?
American citizens.
But he is a green card holder here legally.
It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter?
Yes. He's not a U.S. citizen.
How does it not matter?
Read the Immigration Naturalization Act. What Mahmoud Khalil did was he went and protested, celebrating the death of Jewish babies, celebrating Hamas in Gaza, and under the Immigration Naturalization Act, it says very clear the Secretary of State can deem somebody who has a green card or a temporary visa holder as a threat to the United States of America and against our geopolitical interests, of which Mahmoud Khalil did and is, and he can go make Turkey great again and go back to his country of origin.
He's from Palestine, not Turkey.
Well, he jumped around the Middle East a lot. But the point being, do you believe that being here in America here is a right or a privilege?
Is a right and a privilege.
You have a right to be here?
Yes, I believe anybody has a right to movement to wherever they want.
So you would get rid of all borders?
Yes.
So when you land from an international flight at JFK Airport, no passport checks?
Nope.
Okay. Thank you for so bluntly telling us your view.
I'm a dirty commie, so yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, yeah, that would be my third question. What is your definition of socialism?
Well, in the theoretical, the abstract, or the practical?
Take your pick.
So socialism, as written by Marx, is when the workers own the means of production.
Exactly.
In the actual practical, it's when a small group of very powerful, pernicious people are able to control the rest of the population under the guise of helping the many, when in reality it helps the few, and you get dictatorship, murder, and slaughter, and the revolution never actually comes.
Okay.
It ends in 100 million people dead over the last 100 years.
What about American companies that function as worker cooperatives, which are effectively socialism in practice?
That is partially some of the tenets of Marx. Of course it is. Like Publix grocery stores in Florida.
Okay. So you're in favor of worker cooperatives then?
Yeah, if it's done voluntarily, that's the key.
Yeah, exactly. I would agree.
For example, in a church, if you go to a church and everyone says, we're going to go share this meal.
So yeah, maybe we are going towards a more socialism type of government that's not liberty. Like, that word liberalism is similar to the word liberty. So government was founded on statutes of liberty, the freedom of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And when you brainwash people by propaganda and all sorts of things to make them forced to behave a certain way, and when you take away their freedoms and everything and try to mock them, try to laugh at them, humiliate them, which is what Charlie Kirk did. He didn't he I've heard people argue that he gave people a platform, but he gave them a platform to try to disgrace them. He gave them a platform just to try to mock them and destroy their image. And that's not a good platform. Gave him a platform so that other people would be discouraged. Like, wow, that guy stood up for what he had believed in, and then Charlie Kirk was such a great debater that he just looked like an idiot. But these people don't look like idiots. They really don't. And this is not what you're seeing. You're seeing a bunch of people who are equally as stupid as Charlie Kirk arguing back and forth, a bunch of crap. And then believing, like, if you don't see my video, if you don't watch this whole thing, you really might believe that this is a Christian martyr. This person has been martyred for the blood of Jesus. Like, this person died for what he believed in. Like, this person was a Christian and he died because he was a Christian. No, they did not kill him because he was a Christian. So this isn't a Christian martyr. He wasn't like defending Jesus to the death. Like, they weren't like if you don't believe, you're like literally, I think in other countries, like they will actually kill you for being a Christian. I watch a lot of African prophecy people, and so they have lived in other countries, and they say like in certain countries you have to publicly say things against Jesus to get a job. Like to get a good job, you have to like disgrace Jesus. And I rebuke it in the name of Jesus because nobody should have to do that. And we have the freedom to say what we want to and to like freedom of religion. But this guy turns people off from being like a Christian. And also like we might get bombed. Like who knows? Like, I don't know. Destruction is coming to the country because this is kind of Babylon. And if you do read the Bible, you know what's going to happen to Babylon. She will sink like a rock to the bottom of the ocean. The golden cup that the Lord held in his hands, it was like making all the other nations drunk, drunk, like they get drunk off of the American people. They copy us, they want to be like us. There's so many idols and things like that. And then it says she'll be utterly destroyed in one day. The ship workers will see the burning of her and they will be crying because they sold and traded so much with America and we are the biggest buyer of other people's goods. So in conclusion, I'm gonna make a whole another video. Hold on. In conclusion, just remember that God is in control of everything and that we do have the freedom of speech and that just because this guy got shot for whatever, it was pretty like a normal happening. Don't think that this is unusual for like for somebody to be mocking people like and ruining their lives, for somebody to not want to shoot him. So it's not like America is going in the wrong direction. Like we were never a bunch of pussies. Like we were never that way. Because if you watch the video about the guy talking about how he was the last person that Charlie interviewed, and the guy was talking about like being shot and stuff, which is weird because then Charlie just boom got shot. He was talking about mass shootings and transgenders, people shooting people, and like then he got shot, so that was weird. But like it could be that he faked it, but then if he faked it, that was pretty good, a good job to fool all those people. But you never know. And also, it's just like um, God is never gonna I'll make you go through something that you can't go through. So, like, that's why people do die because they can't go through, like, they don't, if they didn't, like, it would be harder for them to live. It's not like, it might be able to, God wouldn't want them to be turned from Jesus. Like, they're already safe, they're saved, and then they die, and then they go to heaven. So, like, we don't like violence in this country unless it's like completely necessary. Because, like, a person obviously would have to have a reason to be angry. They're just saying that people are just like crazy psychopaths, they need to be in an asylum. But if the majority agrees with these people and they're just too scared to say they agree, or like if everybody can like just come to agreement, we'll be okay. And that's all I have to say. God bless you. Have a nice day.